Okay, so the question one want to ask is, when one dies, what happens to the soul? Generally speaking, I would have to conclude that the soul returns back to its origin in which it came from. I can only assume this to be a fact because everything that diminishes in the world that we know as real life, if it diminishes or falls away, it returns back to its original source. The physical body comes from the dust of the earth. So when the bones and the sinews of the flesh deteriorate, once the soul leaves it, it eventually turns back into dust, returns back to the earth, which it came from. We can liken this also to an ice cube. Ice cube, when it is in its coldest state of existence, in its most solid state of existence, once the temperature rises in a room, it disintegrates into water. And then if the temperature rises even more, that water evaporates back into oxygen, which was its original state, which we as man call H2O. So the soul, in essence, must do the same. Return to its origin. That origin, which the soul will return to, is ethereal. It is without full comprehension within this realm of existence. The soul, genetically and organically, is in its essence past, present, and future tense. There is no beginning to it, and there is no end. It is something that lives forever and ever. It is everlasting. Organically, the soul can be everywhere at one time and be nowhere at the same time. The soul is an incomprehensible matter. It is something that fills space, but at the same time denies it. It is at oneness with the thing that we cannot physically comprehend here in this earth plane. And it is the same thing as the one that we call God, or the all in all. Soul is spirit materialized. The soul is consciousness. Consciousness belonging to one full consciousness is something that is quite incomprehensible, because the full consciousness of existence in general is life beyond what we believe it to be. It is beyond the earth's boundaries. It is beyond the space, the stars and sun and moon that we are familiar with. It is beyond all of these labels and all these things. It is something much more deeper and much more scientific and more elaborate than my mind or anybody's mind in this state and condition can really fully comprehend. It is something, it is life, it is the essence, it is the center of everything. It is what it is and it is what it is not, but at the same time it is everything. It is incomprehensible and indescribable. Words can express exactly what the soul is, but we do know that the soul is a consciousness. That is what the soul is, and consciousness never dies. Consciousness is forevermore. Consciousness is beyond what we think consciousness is. It is not one place or one thing. It is not me being me. It is me being everything, and everything being me, and me knowing and being aware of this all at the same time. It is without limitations. So the soul returns back into its origin, which is the full consciousness of everything that is in existence. It is the oneness of life in general. And then, based upon the soul's obedience to what he has restricted to himself through the full consciousness of what is actually existing, will determine his outcome and where he will end up in the next phase or stage of his existence, if he desires to exist in this state at all anymore. We were all designed and purposed to come here for a reason. That purpose and that reason, at some point in our lives, must be acknowledged. Some of our purpose and reason for coming into the state of existence is to entertain those that are in despair and in distress. Some of us are here to sing and dance and entertain those that may need entertaining because of life circumstances and events. Some of us are here for encouragement, motivation. Some of us are here to be politicians and to play the roles that we are distinctly ordered to play. Some of us are here just to be family men and live, raise our kids, marry our wives, and then die. The others that are born and bred here are here just to be what we would call in the entertainment industry at award ceremonies, seat fillers. People that appear to serve no purpose at all, but actually do serve one, which could be simply just to occupy space. Whatever the reason or cause is, we all must come to understand what that purpose is and the fulfillment of it in order for us to graduate to the next level of our journey into our existence. Once we find out what that purpose is, we must do all that is within us to fulfill it to its fullest potential and to the utmost degree. That purpose must be fulfilled before we leave this existence. If my purpose was to bring information and knowledge and carry the torch of my ancestors and forefathers before me and the teachings of understanding themselves and what life is all about, then that is what I have to do before I leave this earth plane. All of us are here for a purpose and for a reason. And in the simplicity of the matter, we're all going through a transitional period. It's all about conquering the task in which we were put here to conquer. It's all about passing the test. Passing the test. We must conquer the flesh. We must conquer our own selves. We must conquer this existence. But life is an obstacle course, and these physical bodies are the tests for the soul to mature and become better at what it is. See, there are two things that the soul is doing while it is in the physical body. The soul, since it is a part of what we call the universe, is experiencing itself in the most smallest insignificant state of existence, so that it is adhered to all. It can experience all of itself in every phase of its existence. Consciousness, that is. That is the first thing. The second thing is, in the state of existence, I am with the understanding as of now, at this point in my understanding of the world, that in this state of existence, we must conquer the very thing that we have been given, which is our fleshly bodies. And the fleshly body comes with so many infirmities and so many devices. And these vices and these infirmities, if not controlled and conquered, can ruin us. And when I say us, I am speaking of the us that is invisible, that no one can see, which is the soul. Just think of the betterment and the perfection that would take place if one was to be able to conquer his own vessel, to be able to conquer the passions, to be able to be virtuous, short to anger, to be obedient to all spiritual laws, to do the impossible, and to be what everyone expects you not to be a moral human being, to be decent to all, and to be righteous to all. To be able to conquer and own your own vessel, which is your physical body, and to not have it actually own you. To be able to conquer your vices, your shortcomings, your trials and your tribulations. To understand life lessons and learn them the first time. For if we, while living in this physical body, are unable to conquer our own fleshes, then it may be a possibility that we may have to retake the course and do this whole thing over again. And I am with the understanding that that may just very well be the case. Some of us are here because at some point in time we were given the opportunity to be here and we couldn't get it right. Some of us have ruined ourselves so much in past lives that when we come into this one, we have to suffer because of those things. We have to meet the consequences and make right what was wrong. But you see, all these things are things that I'm understanding so far at this point in time. Where I will be in my understanding later in time, while I'm tabernacling or living within this physical body, I expect to be subsequently different than where I am now. I will hope that my understanding of myself and the world around me increases, and that I am advanced in my understanding of myself and the world around me. But as it stands now, this is where I am with things. My physical body is only an artifice, and I need it to be as sensitive as possible. But there are things that I need to develop within myself. Because those things that I need to develop in myself, which are my senses, I feel would need to be explored and heightened to some degree. Because I'm a very unique and different individual in that I'm made up to serve my purpose.